Hey everyone, this is your host Chetna, and we brought you right into the lab of national award-winning makeup and prosthetic designer Preetisheel Singh. She's recently designed the trending looks for Ranveer Singh, Deepika Padukone and Shahid Kapoor for the film Padmavat. And her previous work includes films like Bajirao Mastani, Rangoon, Haider, and the classic look that Nawazzudin Siddiqui sported for the movie Mom. Currently, she's working on a movie called 102 Not Out, where she's designing the look of Amitabh Bachchan as a 102-year-old man and Rishi Kapoor as his 75-year-old son. And she's also designing Nawazzudin Siddiqui for the look of Balasaheb Thakrey. So let me quickly introduce you to Preetisheel before I spend too much more time talking about all the wonderful work that she's done. So hey Preeti, it's so good to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you for inviting us into this lab. I'm trying not to get creeped out with all this. But what is very exciting for them to know is that you did your BTech.
Yes.
And then you worked for TCS. So you're an engineer. You worked for TCS for about a couple of years.
Yes.
So how did this change, happen in your life?
While growing up, and I'm from Pathankot, Punjab, we barely had many options over there.
Right.
So either it was medical or non-medical. So I ended up taking non-medical. Like while growing up, me and my dad, we used to watch a lot of movies together.
Okay.
So, we are the movie partners in the house and always fighting over the remote.
Achha.
So I was very intrigued by all the fantasy movies where I used to create creatures like Planet of the Apes and Star Trek and all those movies. And I used to always wonder, how do they do it? And then finally, while growing up back in 1995, I think, Chachi 420 came out.
Right, Kamal Hassan.
Yes, Kamal Hassan's movie. And I was just taken away by the whole job of how they transformed Kamal Hassan into a
Fat lady.
And it looked so realistic.
Absolutely.
And I just, in my head, I just thought, what a
fascinating
cool
job
this is. It's like you can call yourself Transformers, you're just creating something, transforming people. When I graduated, so I did my first interview and it was with TCS and I landed the job. And during that time, having your first pocket money and not having to ask your parents for more.
It was a big thing.
It was a big thing. So I went along with it, and a couple of months into my job, and then I started realizing that, it's not me. I cannot, every day get up, do that 9 to 5 job and with a tag around your neck. My heart or soul never was into it. So then a year into my job, they decided to post me in US.
Okay.
Even I was working in US, I didn't want to stay over there also.
Okay.
And really didn't want to continue with the full job. So that's when I put in my papers that I want to come back.
Okay. That's bold.
Yeah. My dad also thought the same thing. He wasn't bold, he said, that's stupid.
And you till then had no idea what you were going to do?
I started reading about prosthetics in that time zone. And I started writing emails to all the schools across and asking them if they can, usually they give the Skype tour. Then I had written, so I had almost finalized on my school. That was cinema makeup school by that time.
In LA. And you figured all the schools were there. There was nothing in India, right?
Yeah, there was nothing in India.
Okay.
Either in London or New Zealand, they've got the Vita workshop where they created a lot of the rings that Golem.
Right.
The full characters. It's about a big workshop over there.
Okay.
So it was pretty expensive. So I decided to work a little bit more to save.
Okay.
A little bit more money so I can survive.
So roughly how much would it have been just for them to know?
This was around about 7 years back when I did that, and it almost costed me for 6 months between 15 to 20 lakhs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
So you can just say my 4 years of working in TCS, all the savings, all the mutual funds I had, so sab tudwa liya maine, and everything was put into this course. And my dad was always like, he's like, you've got a good job, you're earning well. On top of that, you were earning in US dollars before this. And then you decided, I said, it's just that my heart and soul wasn't into it.
Yeah, and you didn't get tempted by the idea of staying there because all the exciting big projects are actually
Yes, of course,
in
you
LA.
do get tempted, because I worked with some fantastic people over there. My teachers who had worked on Passion of the Christ, Jumanji, Chucky the Doll, Abyss. There I started learning about character design, and which is, at least right now in my job profile, is a very important aspect of my work. You know, there's a story when it starts running in your head,
Yeah.
mental images, they start forming.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, you see this character, maybe he should have this kind of hair, this kind of makeup, or giving him a scar, or giving him different teeth, you know, and it always felt, you know, you are in my mind that I want to create characters which belong to the movie. If
Right.
20 years down the line, you know, people remember, wow, this is a fantastic movie. I want those characters also to be remembered in a similar manner, you know, remains
But
that.
it's amazing because I'm saying you're creating this character. You spoke about teeth.
Yes.
So does he have to then start speaking differently as
Yes,
well?
like things like for example, I created teeth for Nawaz in Mom.
Right.
And so when you're wearing something on top of your actual teeth, it obviously it changes your diction
Right.
little bit, you know, and maybe gives you a slight lisp. Mostly then the actors enjoy that because this gives them a little extra edge.
To the character.
Yes,
So when they
yeah.
go back into dubbing, they're making sure they're lisping.
Yes, no, the teeth, they wear the teeth and then they say the dialogues, yeah. Did this for Mr. Bachchan also for 102 Not Out.
Very interesting. And you've got these high profile projects now. But going back to your, you know, when you came back to India and your first movie for which you won an award, right?
Yeah. It was almost a year and a half since that time shifted to Bombay. So I was getting, you know, just odd jobs, small things. Okay, fine, do a bit of makeup here, do the makeup there. Because I didn't have much money left with me.
Yeah.
So every day I used to open Just Style and I used to section out an area. Okay, fine, I'm going to travel to Andheri West. These are the production houses in Andheri West. I'm going to go and show them my school portfolio.
Okay.
So when you're working in the school, for every class you attend, they give you, you know, they click professional pictures for you, and so that you've got a work profile.
Portfolio, yeah.
Yeah, once you go back. Okay. And I did a master makeup course. So everything from beauty, fashion, hairstyling, character design, SFX, prosthetic makeup. So it was, everything was involved.
Fully
in.
comprehensive.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was used to go and people say, ah, nice, this is good work. But most of the people in that time didn't understand what is prosthetics, you know.
Yeah, and everything was being done from, you know, abroad.
Yes.
So they must have not had that confidence that
Yes,
you can deliver.
Yes. If you think about it, Hollywood is way advanced in terms of technology, in terms of the materials that they have over here. And it is something that you have to keep updating yourself because new technologies,
Right.
New kind
materials.
of, yeah, they keep coming to the market. And over there, then I either have to find a substitute for those materials over here in India or call those materials. And then you have to test everything again.
Yeah.
Because silicone is so tricky to work with. Sometimes it'll set with something, sometimes it won't set. Sometimes you just don't have any answer. It'll be like you'll open the mold, silicone will be still wet. And so humidity conditions, the temperature conditions, all these things really affect it.
Preeti, I'm sure those who are watching the show right now are thinking that they also want to do this because they're sufficiently excited by the work you do. But tell me, what kind of skills do they need? Is it makeup skills? Do they need to do a prosthetic course? Do they need to understand filmmaking? Or, you know, how to go about this?
See, first of all, you need to have a passion for it.
Right.
Beauty makeup is very different from prosthetic makeup. Of course, you need to have, you know, that creative eye. So, to be very honest, doing prosthetic is not at all easy.
Yeah.
Besides learning and everything, is a lot of manual work that's involved, and a lot of strength and agility is required doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, opening molds and running pieces, and you need to be very patient with prosthetic because sometimes you get impatient. Okay, fine, I'll let me open the mold. It's been 4 hours, 5 hours, but you need to give it its due time. Even while application, you cannot go super fast with it because you have to apply the piece, make sure it sits in the right place.
Yeah.
Because once it is stuck, that means your edge has gone.
Yeah.
Edge is something which is very important in prosthetics in the sense when you apply pieces to the face and it kind of blends in.
Yeah.
So if you lose that edge, then you can see the demarcation line. Okay,
Yeah.
this is the piece and this is my actual face.
But are there courses that they can do in India at all now?
No, not right. Currently, there are no one teaching prosthetics in
Okay.
India. So usually people are going abroad, Canada or London or US or New Zealand.
Right. And those courses are very expensive.
Yes.
So I think on their behalf, I'm requesting you should start an institute.
No, we are planning. We are planning to open our own institute this year.
And hopefully, you know, with her experience and with the film industry sort of experience together, they'll be very excited to come to you. But let's talk about some of the characters that you built in the recent. Let's talk about Padmavat because it's been fresh in our minds.
Yes.
Now, what I read is that there's no evidence, there's no artistic reference to how those characters actually looked. So when you are creating a character, where do you get your ideas from?
See, to be very honest, it's, experience also does count over the years when you're working. So I do have a stock of library of references which I keep saving on my phone, on my laptop. But usually when you get a period movie, I did Bajirao Mastani, Nanak Shah Fakir, and then now Padmavat. So after reading the script, when I'm reading, the full story is running in my mind and you create mental images of how the character is going to look. For example, when the Khilji character I wanted to create, and I wanted someone who's very beastly, commanding a space, and you feel someone's entered the room, and someone with long hair and beard and who's been in wars for ages and ages now. And he has that ferociousness. And at the same time, when you're creating a look for Maharaja Ratan Singh, and you need to have that princely quality, that king-like feel. And it's very important to have a demarcation between both the characters.
Right, yeah, distinct. They should look two different.
Yes. And then I do a lot of research, and then I draw my designs out also, plus Photoshop them for the director to see.
So how does the process work from then on? Let's say the design has got chosen, you've suggested something and they've approved it.
Yes.
Now what next?
Next, it comes into the prep work that we start with. Wigs are involved, beards and mustaches. If scars are getting involved, the scars are going to get prepared in the lab. So if we start sculpting the scars, you'll do different sizes, different options, different thickness, maybe placement of the scars differently. Khilji character, he has a certain Muslim background to it, an Afghan feel. So maybe giving him a bit of green, olive green eyes and giving that suntan look. He's been traveling in the dirt or desert for days, because in that time, traveling from one place to another would take months and months. And so having that grime and grunge. So, when you feel it's a short of a hand, then giving details like your nails are dirty, or there's dirt stuck under the nails, or we have sunburn patches on your face, or little bit of dirt, you're not always clean. So full detailing we go into, and then we do a permutation combination of what looks the best.
And how was your experience? You've done 2 movies already with Ranveer Singh. How's your experience been with him?
It's Ranveer is a lot of fun to work with. He just gives you that creative space and that liberty. Like, execute what you have in mind, and it's fun to work with, when even the actor wants to get himself involved into different characters.
Yeah. Preeti, I saw the trailer for Thakrey recently, and Nawazzudin Siddiqui is looking so much like Balasaheb Thakrey, so full credit to you. But talk about how you actually did that transformation.
I remember it was 7th December when I went for a meeting, and they told me that 15th they plan to shoot the teaser, because on 21st, the launch is going to happen for the teaser.
Oh my God, just a week.
Yes, just a week. And it was quite a challenge, because usually when it comes to prosthetics and all that, first of all, a bit of time goes in the designing bit, how much, what all needs to be prepared so that he can look as close as possible to Balasaheb Thakrey. Then the lab work starts. And then again, I told you, working with silicone is like, a lot of patience, a lot of time is involved.
And unpredictable, like you said.
So then we guys started working, in the lab day in, day out. The lab was full with Balasaheb Thakrey's pictures from the time he was 1960s and 70s, and he's 40 years old, 50 years old, because of full transition.
Yeah.
But at that time, they just wanted him that when he was in his 40s, that kind of age. So this was a mold.
We can show it to them.
Yes. So this is like an ear mold we created for Mr. Nawazuddin. So because Balasaheb Thakrey had those big ears and his nose was a bit broad, so we created different kind of noses, different size of noses. Because when you create prosthetics, it's not like something when you go on set you can change it.
Yeah.
If okay, fine, I think the nose is too big.
Get me a smaller one.
Yeah. So you need to have variations, and The thing was that on such a short time period, we didn't get around to do a look test. Straight away I went on shoot. So I had 3 different sizes of nose, 2 sizes of the ears. Plus we made a chin piece because Nawaz has a dimple in his chin. And Balsab Thakrey didn't have that. So to get that linear structure, if Nawaz's face is this size and Balsab Thakrey is a bit longer, so maybe fill up the dimple and just elongate the chin a bit, so that it gives you that feels, the anatomy of his face matches the anatomy of Mr. Balsab Thakrey.
Wow.
Plus we applied like a bald cap for him, created a wig, cut the wig in such a manner so that it resembles his haircut back in that time. And plus of course, you know, small things like Balsab Thakrey was, he used to wear those big frames.
Right.
You know, everyone is standing outside the vanity just waiting for Nawaz to come out and waiting how he's going to look.
Right.
And then everyone's looking. So the moment he stepped out of the camera and then he started doing the acting, then that's when then people started coming to me, oh, brilliant job, he looks like Nawaz. And I was just so relaxed.
But so fascinating.
Yes, it was.
And tell me, so every time he goes on to play that role, so every morning you sit for 3 hours with him and you put that makeup.
So yeah, we haven't started the shoot for the movie yet, but the usual procedure would be this kind of, and over the time period, you know, when your hand gets used to the actor's face, and this is the color palettes that we're using for him, so you kind of, you know, hands-on experience, with hands-on experience, speed kind of builds up. But usually prosthetic is something which you have to do, which have to take time, blend the edges, so that even when you're doing the nose piece, you know, you have to blend it completely so that the nose and his face
looks as part of the same.
Yes, yeah. And we go to full detailing where you know, we give the pose, the wrinkle lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what you meant by painstaking, laborious
that
work.
also. Even when once the final piece is ready, for example, for this head. This is Raghav Chaitanya's head, which was served on a platter to Rani Padmavati. In this, you know, after the full head is ready, if you see the eyebrow punching, single hair is punched using a needle.
Looks so realistic.
Eyebrow punching and lash punching, it takes like a full day. So even when you do a close-up, it has to look like a realistic eyebrow.
Totally natural. I can almost see expressions on his face.
Yeah, so if you see like this kind of full pose and wrinkles and crow's feet, you've got the wrinkles on this thing, the labial roll.
Yeah, and even this little worried eye twirl.
Yes, full detail. Yeah, this is the sculpting part. So once what you sculpt is what you get in the mold.
Preeti, give us your view on what do you think are the pros and cons for them to get into this field?
The pros are, of course, you know, a lot of movies are being made in Bollywood which are using prosthetics. So you've got a lot of creative
potential
involved in this. And cons, like one of the biggest problems that I faced after finishing my course was there was no material to be found.
Right,
in India. So you don't have a proper SFX supply store and the kind of material that you get in US or London. So my brother Karan, he's a chief prosthetic artist who works with me. So him and me, we used to go to townside and we used to go to the chemical markets and this poor guy would go in the morning, come back in the evening. Okay, Didi, I've got this chemical, that chemical. So we kind of, both of us, we work together, you know, to find substitutes. So I always have to keep myself stocked up.
Yeah. And
because you can't say no to a project because I don't have material.
Because you don't have any time. Like I can see you get a 1 week notice to create a look.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes, you know, people think that prosthetic is something which you can create in 2 days. Then I'll get a call, you know, okay, fine, tomorrow I need a prosthetic tummy. I said you need to give it time, patience, because you have to fit it according to the actor's structure.
Body,
Yes. So Karan was a major help with me. He was also working with me on Nanak Shah Fakir.
Oh.
So every day for a year's time, my call time was 3 a.m. in the morning. And the actor was supposed to get ready for a 7 o'clock shoot call.
And they go to sleep on the bed and you're doing the makeup.
Some actors, they doze off. Yeah, they sleep off. Some actors, you know, they like to sit and just watch.
Yeah. Tell me, you've been in Bollywood for so many years now. What is that one thing you want to change about Bollywood, if there is any?
Yes, right now, at least in terms of makeup, I would think that it's high time that we get a little more due importance You know, famous award functions that keep happening, they don't even have a makeup category for nominations, except for National Award and IFA. This is very sad. Because
internationally, every award function has
They have, and even if you see the kind of movies that are coming out, people are trying to look different. So it is a whole lot of varieties being created and not being credited or appreciated. You know, that kind of feels a bit of downer. So I think that should change.
I'm sure it will. You know, now there are increasingly more movies getting made with prosthetics, and I'm sure all of this will happen. Okay, so my last question to you will be, if you had a wish list of these are the characters, if somebody came to you and said, okay, make whichever character you want to make, then what would be your dream characters? What kind of stuff do you want?
I would love to do a full fantasy movie, you know, something like Lord of the Rings. Because I love that kind of genre of movies, or X-Men, or Avatar, Thor. I'm really keen into doing that. So maybe someday down the line, someone comes out with a script, you know, where you need creatures or aliens or someone who don't look human-like. So I'm pretty fascinated with that.
I'm sure that will be so interesting for you.
Yes, definitely.
So I wish you a lot of luck, and I'm sure it's going to happen, and you're going to be at the forefront of all this change.
Thank you.
We're also waiting for your institute to open up so they can get to learn something from you. And thank you, Preeti, for having us over.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
So thank you so much for watching till the end. And if you've enjoyed this episode, which I'm sure you have, and you have questions about how to pursue this career, do write everything in the comment section below, and Preetisheel or I will answer that for you. And don't forget that subscribe button, the bell notification button, and follow us at Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at ChetChat101. And happy watching!